It is Parlay Friday. We are back after a small hiatus last week. I'm Steve Armato, back with my guy, Anthony Saccone. And you know what it is? It's officially football season, officially NFL season. Last night, kicked things off, Bills, Rams. And let's get going. What did you think?
There really wasn't much to think other than the fact that, the Bills just absolutely came out and smoked the Rams. That game in the first half, I'll be honest, I really thought Buffalo was going to run away with that a lot sooner. They kind of let the Rams hang in a little bit, but then they made halftime adjustments. They came out in the second half, and they absolutely dominated the Rams. This Buffalo defense, man, Von Miller, they just look like a whole nother animal right now.
Von Miller added a dimension to that defense that they didn't have last year, and they were already the number one defense in football. That's a little scary. So I'll say that. Josh Allen looks absurd. Mm-hmm. I know he threw 2 picks. The first pick, I'm not going to say was his fault because the defender just ripped it out of Isaiah McKenzie's hands. But he looks ridiculous. And also when he decides to run, you can't even stop him. No. And he makes throws on the run with velocity that he's absurd. He might win the MVP this year. If he plays like this, he's going to win the MVP, especially with everything else that he could do. What do you think of his performance?
Yeah, he wasn't he like the on MVP odds favorite? I'm pretty sure to win the MVP this year on FanDuel and DraftKings. There's pretty good reason. And I had him in fantasy last year. Every time I looked at the score sheet, it was like 30 points, 40 points, 50 points. Like this year, he looks even better than last year. I wish I drafted him earlier. I waited a little bit in fantasy to take Josh Allen this year, but listen, the way he's playing, the way this offense looks, the sky's the limit for him. This Bills team, he could win MVP. They could win the Super Bowl. He could win Super Bowl MVP. There's really, how are you going to stop him?
No, you can't. You can't. Now let's get into some fantasy talk real quick on this game here. All right. So couple standout things. One, James Cook is not touching the football anymore. Zach Moss is the number 2 back, possibly the lead back in Buffalo. So you're probably going to want to get your hands on him. He had a few receptions. He was getting a lot of carries. James Cook, first career carry, fumbles. He ain't going to be seeing the field much if he can't hold on to the football. So that sleeper is not waking up. That's my one take. Second take is, what happened to Cam Akers and Allen Robinson? What's going on here? I thought Cam Akers was the starter. What happened?
Cam Akers scares me a lot more than Allen Robinson does. They gave him the ball 3 times. He had 3 carries, no receptions. He was never a pass catching back to begin with since he's been on the Rams. But they gave him the ball 3 times. They had Darrell Henderson the whole game. Allen Robinson, I know last night was horrible, and fantasy owners are probably, way too early being like, this guy stinks, I'm going to bench him. Give him time because we know Stafford does like to spread the ball around. Eventually, somebody's going to have to double team Kupp, and then it leaves Robinson open, you would think. But Robinson, he'll be a little bit better. But Akers, it is definitely time to hit the panic alarm. I know it's week 1, but 3 carries when we think he's fully healthy. Maybe he's not healthy. Do we not know? Is there something behind the scenes going on there? Or do they just like Henderson this much? But 3 carries for your starting running back in fantasy football, I don't like it. I'm glad I don't have him.
No. Football is back. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Key football is back. And also, if you didn't pick up Darrell Henderson, you should probably do it. He was going in like 11th, 10th, 11th rounds in drafts because everybody was high on Cam Akers. He almost had 1 point. He almost had 1 point on a reception that Stafford threw 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and then he didn't even get any yards out of it. Oh my God, what a disaster for Cam Akers fantasy owners there. That's not great. Allen Robinson, after the game, McVay said that they have to get him the ball more. You should probably get him the ball more. You spent $45 million on him. I think the big issue is that Matthew Stafford does not look healthy. I think that elbow is going to be a way bigger issue than everyone made it out to be. He did not look good last night. What did you think about his performance?
I was playing him in fantasy last night, so I was very happy about that. But by the way, he still found a way to hit Cooper Kupp. How many? What was it, like 12 times or something? I think Kupp finished with. Is Kupp not like the most just safe fantasy football pick.
I mean, I don't understand the guy. Like, he's just the only guy that gets open.
Only one. Every time.
Only guy that gets open. It was just him all night. But at some point, teams are just going to send everybody to him. Like, that's, I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, Odell Beckham missing him is a lot bigger than we anticipated. Odell Beckham's better than Allen Robinson.
He is 100%. They could always sign him. I feel like give it like week 6 or 7. He's probably still rehabbing from that ACL that he suffered in the Super Bowl. Give them a couple weeks. I guarantee you somehow the Rams bring him back midseason when things aren't going well. And then Allen Robinson, that kind of then not too good.
Then he's a wash.
Then he's irrelevant.
I mean, even the other kid, I don't even know the guy's name with the S.
Jefferson, he's out.
No, the number 18, Skoranek. He got more targets than Robinson last night. And I don't even think it's like Robinson wasn't open, because there were a couple of plays where he was like just running down the field wide open and Stafford couldn't get him the football. So I don't really know. But they said, yeah, Odell's locker is still in LA. So you may be onto something, Ant. You might be onto something here. All right, now let's get into we got some. It's a huge weekend. Like, I don't know what your picks are looking like. I'm big in the college football space this week, but what are you looking at in terms of best bets? What's your best bet? Let's go there. We got a big weekend ahead of us. There's MLB. Everything's in full swing now. So what are you looking at? What's your best bet here? All
right, I can guarantee you're getting zero college football from me today. We're sticking NFL. We are going. I've been talking about them all off season long. Las Vegas Raiders plus 3.5 with the spread, taking on the Chargers on the road. Ooh. Listen, I've been saying it all off season long. This team looks good. You go out and you get a guy like Devontae Adams, the best receiver in football. Chandler Jones, one of the best edge rushers in football. This team, they're legit. A playoff team a season ago, and you start them with a 3.5-point spread taking on Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Maybe the Chargers will probably win this game. The Chargers are a better team, but to me, this game will come down to just a couple of points. Whichever way it swings doesn't matter to me, as long as it's within those 3.5. I am more than happy with the Raiders losing by 1 or 2 points, and I just think plus 3.5, hard not to go against the Raiders with this. They have a stacked team. I think.
I love the Raiders this year too. I really do. I think you talked me into them more. I said this on here a few weeks ago, and people on social media hated it because we put that clip out. Hated it. Said Broncos aren't going to make the playoffs. Broncos are the 4th best team in this division. Okay, Raiders are better. I'm not a Russell Wilson guy anymore. I don't think he's what he used to be. Also, I don't think. Look, people. I saw a video that they said someone said the receivers, that having 2 receivers, I'd rather have 2 big receivers than a really good quarterback, which is ask Denver how that was last year with Drew Lock and having Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. It didn't work out well. So I don't think he's the best. I think the best quarterback in the division, obviously Mahomes. I think Carr is past Russell Wilson right now, and Herbert is number 2 right there. Whatever you want to think. I like the Raiders. I like where you're going with the Raiders pick though. So that is your best bet.
Yeah, that's my best bet. The only thing that scares me a little bit is this Raiders secondary. They don't have many guys to cover back there. These stud Charger receivers. But you know what? I think that it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be back and forth offense all game. As long as Carr and this Raiders offense can consistently keep up with the points, and I think Devontae Adams is just going to be an absolute monster this week. Look for his prop because I think he's just going to show out in his Raiders debut.
I love it. All right. I am going college football with my best bet. And everybody might be thinking this is a square play. I don't care. I'm taking Alabama minus the 20.5 against Texas. So let me just give you a trend to follow on this one. Since Nick Saban has been the Alabama head coach, they are 26-6 against the spread when the spread is minus 22 or less, and it's within the first 5 games of the season. That's 82% that's hitting at. So basically the books are telling you that you are actually getting them at a discount at minus 110 for them to beat Texas by 21 points. Texas is a train wreck. Nick Saban is just a beast. Alabama is a force. Taking Alabama minus 20.5 because the numbers tell you to take it. So that's what I'm going with for my best bet this weekend. College football, baby. It is a long, long weekend of sports.
It's a beautiful weekend. I mean, you're going horns down. Sorry,
Horns down.
Not yet. Not yet.
I'm going out. I'm going out for that game too on Saturday at noon. It's been planned for like 3 weeks. We're going out, watching the game. We're gonna be screaming at the TV. You know what? I'm not just gonna say I'm gonna be cruising at the half. All right. I'm gonna be up like 28. I'm gonna be up like 28-3 at the half. So I'm telling Bama's gonna smoke. Actually, they might not even give up points. Let's be real. So they don't give up points. They just beat up everybody. That's how it.
I mean, every year they're just ridiculous.
You think it's probably gonna be them in Georgia again in the national championship game, right?
How good did Georgia look last week? My goodness.
Georgia looks insane. And Stetson Bennett looks like he's a Heisman Trophy winner.
Smoked Oregon. I mean, that was insane.
I have an opinion that I don't think they should come out with the college football rankings until after week 4. Because like that game last week, Georgia and Oregon was 3 versus 17, 3 versus 11. I'm sorry, 3 versus 11. Georgia was favored by 17 points and they won 49-3. Like that's not even close right there. And even like Florida was unranked. They beat Utah. Utah was ranked 7th. I had that on the money line, by the way. If you listen to the newsletter, if you had the newsletter, I told you that. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think the Vegas knows more. Maybe Vegas should make the rankings. There shouldn't be a poll because Vegas seems to know more than anybody else does.
Yeah. And I mean, by the way, for those of you, I hope you really watched the newsletter last week because your bet hit, my parlay hit. I'm 2 parlays in a row, going for 3 this week. So stick to the newsletter or the podcast if we don't do podcasts.
Well, the podcast, here's the thing, everyone. The podcast, we're on Substack. It's Parlay Friday on Substack. The thing about the newsletter is you will get more bets in there that aren't just on the show. And also you will get bets during the week. So there's a lot more that you get. There's a lot of value there that we're bringing you. So, there you go. And the newsletter today will have bonuses in terms of college football and MLB. And I got an NFL parlay in there because I got a heater of a college football parlay that's coming up on this show right now. All right. So let's get into that. It is Parlay Friday. Also, everyone, we are on the Spotlight Sports Network and we have a deal going on with Fanatics right now. Okay, we're pushing some apparel on Fanatics. You get a discount, you get a discount code. I'm going to put the link in the YouTube video for that, but pay attention. Big things happening over at Spotlight Sports Network and at Parlay Friday. All around, just big things happening. We're moving in the right direction for football season. So let's get into it. Parlays. What is your parlay for this weekend, sir?
All right, going for 3 in a row, calling it the basics with a bonus parlay. So we're staying with baseball, and we got a little something in there for you. Sticking with the Diamondbacks, first 5 -1/2 tonight in Coors Field. We got Zach Davies taking on Herman Marquez. Davies been pretty good as of late, as he's given up just 5 earned runs in his last 4 starts. He's got a 3.74 ERA, taking on Herman Marquez, who's just really not good. I mean, there's going to be a lot of runs in this game, but I think the Diamondbacks jump on Marquez early, and they win this first 5. Then we're going Dodgers money line, taking on the Padres. Dustin May, Mike Clevinger. He might be the better starter of the 2, which is why the Dodgers, I like their odds tonight. They're not their usual -340, 320. You get them at a cool -160 when you parlay it. It all makes sense. So Dodgers, best team in baseball, can't go against them. And lastly, Packers on the money line this weekend, taking on the Vikings, divisional opponent, Aaron Rodgers. Listen, every year, every offseason, people like kind of discredit the Packers. They'll lose this receiver. I know they lost Devontae Adams. I'm not worried about it. Every year, Rodgers gets better. MVP last year, and not for nothing, but Green Bay's defense this year has gotten a lot better. So I like the Packers to win this game and Rodgers to show everybody that he is still Aaron Rodgers. So you get these odds at +518.
I like that. You know what I like about I like your first pick a lot. The Diamondbacks, first 5. The Diamondbacks have scored the most runs in baseball over the last 2 weeks. I bet you nobody knew that. They brought up all these prospects. They call them the baby backs. I like that.
Let's go, baby back ribs.
I like that. I like this parlay. This is solid. And you actually moved a couple different sports there, which I like. I'm not doing NFL in mine, but I do have a college football heater. All right. We're calling this the Deep South parlay. +515. We got Bama -20.5 versus Texas. I already told you about them. Florida -6 against Kentucky, and the University of Texas at San Antonio on the money line as well. I was tempted to add Old Dominion to this, but I think they're going to have a letdown game against East Carolina. You have no idea what I'm talking about because you don't even pay attention. But Here we go. Bama, I already told you the trend. Nick Saban is 82%. 82% against the spread when it's minus 22 or less within the first 5 games of the season since he's been at Bama. So there you go with that. Florida -6 against Kentucky. Florida is coming off a huge win against Utah. Utah was ranked 7th in the country. Florida was unranked. Now they're ranked 12th. Okay. They're playing a Kentucky team that did not look good last week. I think Florida is going to be incredibly underrated this year. And right now they are coming back. They might not be able to hang with Georgia, but they're going to beat up on Kentucky, especially in the swamp. So I like them at -6. And UTSA, they are a road favorite. They're -3 at Army. But I like the money line here. The money line is at -145. UTSA played a ridiculous game last week against Houston. That thing came down to the wire. They are a sleeper non-Power 5 school. I love them this year. I like them to actually win like 10 or 11 games as well, but I love them against Army this week, even on the road. So we got Bama -20.5, Florida -6, University of Texas San Antonio or UTSA money line +515, the Deep South parlay. There we go.
The Deep South. I like it. Listen, Bama, best team every year. Bama's just insane. Florida, Anthony Richardson looks like he could make a run at the Heisman this year. That's how good he looked last week against Utah. And so I do like Florida. They're ranked 12th right now, getting pretty accurately rated, I would say. And then the last game, UTSA, if they had like the preseason or pregame meeting in my basement, I still couldn't name you 3 players. So I'm gonna take your word for it and hope they win on the money line. I barely knew they were a school, but hey, why not? UTSA, let's go.
Well, the football hasn't been around as long as other sports. They just started building up a football team over the last 10 years, but they were good last year. They're better this year. And last week they covered the spread, which was great. And now they're going on the road, taking on Army. Army's Army's really not that good. I don't know. Army's really not that good. I think UTSA is gonna beat up on them in West Point. So there we go. Everybody, don't forget to subscribe to the Spotlight Sports Network on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to Parlay Friday on YouTube. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter, Parlay Friday. It's on Substack. Get free picks, bonus picks, all the stuff we got. I give free picks. There is a paid option in there for more picks, but you get free picks every day regardless. And then finally, it's parlayfriday.com. Get some gear, get some t-shirts. We got Big Risk Energy t-shirts going off they're flying off the shelves now. All right. So everyone, and before we get out of here though, and any big predictions for NFL Sunday?
Yeah. Arizona Cardinals beat the Kansas City Chiefs. You're hearing it here first.
Wow.
That's bold. Here first.
Wow. That's bold. That's bold. I'm doing Jonathan Taylor first touchdown scorer, not for the season, just for that game, obviously. But Jonathan Taylor first touchdown scorer, that was a big bet last year. That bet last year hit almost every single week. The only weeks it didn't hit was when he ran it down to the 2 and they put Hines in for some reason. I hope that doesn't happen on Sunday, but I love that. So that's my call for the weekend. Jonathan Taylor first touchdown scorer. Everybody, happy first weekend of NFL. Happy third weekend of college football. MLB playoffs coming up. We're gonna have a lot going on there. Remember, if you want to be a man at night, you got to be a man in the morning. We will see you next week.